1 month after winning the 2024 Giro d'Italia, Slovenian Tadej Pogacar is now on top of the Tour de France. In the Maillot Jaune, the yellow jersey, in the GC ahead of Remco Evenepoel and Jonas Vingegaard. Stage winner, though, goes to debutant in the Tour de France, a Frenchman. 2 Frenchmen in 2 days in this 2024 Tour de France. Here in Bologna, Kevin Veekelen from the team of Arkea Samsic ripped apart from the escape, the early escape that included Canadian Hugo Hull and Jonas Vingegaard, who was there in the polka dot jersey, also picking up the green jersey and the most aggressive rider today. 11 riders or 10 riders, and then everything got whittled down on the San Luca climb. To be repeated twice. It was a long, hot day out there, just like day one, 199 kilometers. We're still here in Italy. It started along the east coast in Cesenatico, birthplace of Marco Pantani, who died tragically using cocaine, but is also the last double winner, winning the Giro d'Italia and then the Tour de France in 1988. And that's what Tadej Pogacar is trying to do this year. And it looks like he's on a good path to do so, because what he showed out there on the San Luca climb bodes well for his chances to do the double. But we still have 19 days of racing, and let's focus on the second day of racing. The escape was free up the road, and it looked like they were going to fight for the win. They had 3 minutes in hand or so when we got down to the final part of this race with those 2 climbs and the closing circuits. Here around Bologna, we started in Cesenatico, but Bologna, well, it's known for its ragu, its lasagna, and today, bike racing, the French race, the French Grand Tour, the Tour de France, and this would be where Tadej Pogacar would light it up on the San Luca climb. We had a crash near the intermediate sprint, and it was a scary moment because we saw the Wout van Aert go down, who had crashed early on in this season and just now coming back to strong racing. Also, Matteo Jorgensen, when I spoke to Jonas Vingegaard at the bus there, he indicated that it sounded like from his point of view, and the director, Grisha Nierman, is that Matteo Jorgensen crashed first, took down Wout van Aert. Also involved in the crash was Laurens de Plus of Team Ineos Grenadiers. Those guys just ripped their shorts, but they were able to get up and get back going and do their job today. And the job was there on the San Luca climb. We knew it was going to be a day for Tadej Pogacar to try to rip it up. Jonas Vingegaard at the team bus afterwards explained that it was one of the days that he was most worried about. We were keeping a close eye on Primož Roglič. Remember, he's won Giro d'Emilia many times at the top of that climb. In 2019, he won the Giro d'Italia opening stage, a time trial at the top of the San Luca climb. A nasty climb, short, but averaging 10% with gradients in there up to around 20%. And it was on the first of 2 climbs that we saw Tadej Pogacar's intentions. He went to the front around 29 kilometers out. We thought he was going to launch the attack, but instead he just comes around the Visma Lease bike work up there with Jonas Vingegaard at the front, Matteo Jorgensen, and we thought that was an attack, but he went over there, grabbed the bottle from one of the team helpers, and that was that, and they rode over the top of that climb, and at that point, it looked like the escape was going to win, but we didn't quite know, and it was down on the flats, back through here in Bologna, heading up to the final climb of San Luca, where we saw the escape would in fact win. It was going to be a battle out how those guys were going to win the day. Kevin Veekelen, what a win for him. Debut in the Tour de France, and for French cycling fans, it's massive. 2 wins in 2 days. Following up Romain Bardet's win yesterday with Team DSM and the yellow jersey. Unfortunately, Romain would slip out of the yellow jersey today because we focused our attention back to the GC group, because that's where everybody really had their eyes on. The Fab Four, Remco Evenepoel, Primož Roglič, Remco in his debut Tour de France, Primož Roglič with new team Bora Hansgrohe, Tadej Pogacar, Team UAE Emirates, and Jonas Vingegaard, Visma Lease bike. Well, we saw the 2 strongest riders right there, both of them 2-time winners in the Tour de France. Vingegaard defending his last 2 editions of the Tour de France, having that nasty crash on April 4th, only just returning to racing 2 days ago. He was able to mark right away on the final climb of San Luca, around about 15 kilometers out. That's when we saw Tadej Pogacar light it up, and right away, there was a little bit of space, but right away, Jonas was right on him, and the 2 rode through the gates, rode through the porticos there, and were free. A little bit of a plateau and then a downhill around about 10 kilometers, and they worked well together, and it was to their advantage. They weren't eating into the time of the leaders up the road, but they were gaining time on Remco Evenepoel and on Primož Roglic. But attention, if you'd missed out, you might have thought Remco Evenepoel lost time today, as I initially thought, but he was working well with Richard Carapaz, and they were picking up riders, escapees who had been dropped on the road, and they were able to catch Jonas Vingegaard, Tadej Pogacar on the finish line. Unfortunately for Primož Roglic, he lost around 20 seconds today, so the team Red Bull is going to have to assess the situation as we go into that first big mountain stage over the Galibier in 2 days' time. Tomorrow's a sprint stage, but today when we're looking at is Tadej Pogacar back on top a month after the Giro d'Italia, winning the overall in Rome in the pink jersey, and now he's in the yellow jersey at the 2024 Tour de France.